Hello students, good morning to all of you. Today we will going to start a very important topic regarding to your class 10th examination. Darwin's natural selection theory. Okay, so first of all, what is mean by natural selection theory? It's a very important topic for you. Okay, so Darwin described the evolution process. Darwin described the very important portion which is known as the evolution. So in that evolution process, Darwin says about the evolution is a slow process. Okay, slow process, and its formation of the new offspring, or you say that it's formation of the new species. You know very well that these species are the group of the individual. Okay, and there are different types of the individual present on the earth. Okay, so new species, what is mean by new species? There are so many species are also occurs in the earth, means that you say about the species of the human, species of the animals, species of the then you say that the birds, species of the mammals. There are a lot of things about that. Okay, so the new species formation, it's okay, this point is very important. The new species formation due to the evolution. Okay, and the evolution are the slow process. Okay, evolution is a slow process. Next one is the Darwin's natural selection theory. What is mean by Darwin's natural selection theory? Means that the Darwin's gives you a very important theory. Which theory is known as the natural selection theory? Means that the Darwin's theory on the basis of the natural character, or you say that the natural selection the character. Selection of the character is very important in that process. Okay, Darwin published a book which book name is Origin of Species. Origin of Species means that he published a book, Origin of Species. In that Origin of Species, he described the natural selection theory. The natural selection theory on the basis of struggle of the individual. Struggle is very important in every field. You know that and this theory also says about the struggle of the individual. Okay, this theory based on struggle. You know about there are two types of this struggle. The struggle which occurs in the same species, or another one, the struggle which occurs in the different species. So Darwin say about the when the struggle occurs between the same species, then it's called as the intraspecific struggle. Okay, when struggle occurs between the same species, means that the struggle of the lion and the elephant for the kingdom process. Okay, and the second one is the struggle which is occurs between the two lions, same species. Okay, the struggle occurs between the two lions for what? For the fighting for the meat of the flesh. Okay, then you say that the tasty flesh, or you say that there are different for the proper mate. Okay, mating process or the proper pair. This process means that the intraspecific struggle. Intraspecific struggle and interspecific struggle. There are two types, intraspecific and interspecific struggle. In that struggle, the struggle which is occurs between the two different or the same species, two same species, and this struggle occurs between the two different species. Two different species and the two same species. Okay, there are the two main difference between the intraspecific and interspecific. Same species, when struggle occurs between the same species. Intraspecific, when struggle occurs between the two different species, it's called as the interspecific. There is an example of the intraspecific, means that the struggle between two lions, and here's the struggle between elephant and lion. You understand that? Two different species. Okay, clear that point? Which book? Origin of Species. Two different concepts, intraspecific and the interspecific. Then Darwin says about what he says in a natural selection theory. Darwin told about this process. He said that this process occurs between the due to the evolution. This process occurs between the evolution, means that due to evolution natural selection theory is occurs. Then the struggle occurs between the two organism. If the organism will be sustained, means that they exist, then they produce their young ones. Okay, if the organisms will survive, then what happens? They will produce their young ones. But if the organism will not survive, then it's not become a fertile, or it's become a sterile. Means that the natural selection theorist tells about the struggle occurs between the two individual struggles and formation of new species. But this process occurs due to the evolution. Means that there is a process of formation of a new species due to the evolution process. But some objections are for the Darwin's natural selection theory will arise. Okay, or they arise when Darwin's are totally successful about this, says about the theory of evolution, or this process is a slow. Darwin says about this slow process. Darwin didn't explain detail about evolution. Darwin did not explain detail about the evolution process. After that, the Darwin's. Okay, means that the evolution process, what happens? I told you in a short that process means that the changes of the that nucleotide sequences, or means that that time not a proper guidance about the inheritance problem, or you say that the hereditary problem did hereditary evolution. This process Mendel did not explain. Otherwise, Mendel explains the theory of evolution. It is a slow process. It will going on, and it's formation of the new species. But this is only explained with the theoretical and practical. But he did not explain detail about the anything. You say that the nucleotides, or you say that the different concept changes, chromosomal concept. He did not. He failed. Okay, he failed. Natural selection theory means he did not explain about the evolution process. Mendel did not explain the evolution process. Then natural selection theory doesn't explain, or did not explain about the natural selection theory did not explain about the useful and useless organs. Darwin selection theory did not explain about the useful and useless organs. Okay, useful and useless organ means that this is a theory, useful and useless, or you say that the use and disuse theory, which is explained by the Lamarck. Okay, John Baptist Lamarck was a scientist who firstly explained the useful and useless theory. In that useful and useless theory, he only explain about the character which is useful in our daily life will become the strong, and which we do not use in our daily life, then it will become the useless. Okay, so particularly this theory about the useful and useless theory. Okay, understood that concept? And this concept did not explain about the Mendel. Okay, the second one is natural selection theory didn't explain about the useful and useless organ. First is did not explain detail about the evolution. Second one, natural selection theory did not explain about the useful and the useless organs. And last one, which you say that the third one, okay, is the important point that the natural selection theory is totally that's successful. This is not a, you say that this is not a concept when Darwin not a failure. Okay, Darwin not a failure scientist, but was very successful in their life. But due to the objection, this theory is not be applicable. Okay, this theory is not be acceptable for the evolution theory. But this theory give us a lot of information about the evolution process. Okay, this theory give us a lot of information about evolution process, means that this theory gives us a more information. Okay, this theory gives us more information. But not acceptable due to various reasons. Okay, so shortly, this is a totally about the Darwin's natural selection theory. I hope you understood my today lecture. If you really understood this lecture, then you ask the questions below in a comment, and I hope next time you will also, if you will get subscribed to my channel, then you will get a new video from my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.